All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed allababidi. I'm going to be talking to you today about visual effects. A lot of people come to me, a lot of filmmakers I've met come to me and say, Mohammed, I wish I could do that effect, but it's going to cost so much money, it's going to cost so much stuff. We need a studio, get a big screen, green screen, location, we need post-production, we need software, we need all these things. I'm very glad to tell you there's a lot of great news about that. If you ever want to do visual effects, you want to do 3D, whether you want to do a full 3D, you want to do partial green screen, you want to do some type of effect, you want to put villains, you want to put characters, you want to put dogs that dance, so on and so forth. You're able to do that. And guess what? On a budget. We're actually in a very, very important and crucial time right now. A little bit about myself, and also we'll talk about the progression of visual effects from the early times until today. I originally studied film to actually do film, and eventually ventured my degree into computer animation and visual effects. And back then, back in The Mask and the first Jurassic Park kind of stuff, where we were using big silicon graphic machines. Octanes, the big octanes, they would cost like 60,000, 70,000. The software that we worked on was called Power Animator. This is way before Maya and Cinema 4D and all that now. Back then, the software itself, it was just in studios. Big studios had these, whether they were called Power Animator, alias Wavefront, and they cost anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000. And only studios had them, or commercial companies that were doing different types of PSAs and pieces, or music videos. So it was not really tangible for audiences and average folks to kind of get into that, and that's why it has been capturing that that taboo that effects are still expensive. I was very fortunate enough to actually, as I was studying, actually to work and try to intern as much as possible and learn at different companies and work on different commercials, from like cereal boxes jumping and bouncing to like diapers and Pampers and stuff like that for babies. And the idea is that working on commercials, I understood what it takes to kind of have like very short ideas, and at the same time be able to capture the audience and either get a laugh or get a shock or get a type of emotion really quick, and be able to do that initially through effects and through visual effects. As the computers kind of progressed, PCs became very strong. Suddenly video cards and NVIDIA and Intel, suddenly a regular PC can be able, can actually capture video, can actually, send out video, use a lot of graphics, be able to handle big software. So Power Animator, alias Wavefront, all these big companies started to do stuff for the PC. And I was very fortunate because I was exactly in that time, the divergence between all these big kind of computers to the PC computers. All this big type of software to average software that you can run on your PCs. And while I was working here in the Bay Area for small companies in the beginning, Mind's Eye Media, In Orbit Animation, and I started to get the brand new, all these softwares like Maya, 3D design, electric image, and we would use these to do basic games and basic commercials. And as the softwares were getting more, we were sending out tutorials, I was doing lessons, stuff for people, because a lot of people in the film industry wanted to learn how to do that. How do you do that, Mohammed? How do you do this? So we'd sit down and do it, and then these type of blogs and meetings ended up into me teaching at the Academy of Art University. I've been teaching there for 11 years now, and it was a BAVAC, Bay Area Video Coalition here in San Francisco. They're a nonprofit. They actually train people on how to use mediums like editing, Final Cut Pro, and different type of tools to get there. And slowly, I started realizing that the computers are becoming so much faster. The chips and the software is very high quality now. And I wanted to share with you a few things about where I started and where the industry is right now, to show you, and it's proof. It's like people are getting away with amazing things at a no budget or very low budget. That why aren't film people getting into that? And a lot of people want to know where is the avenue, where is these things. So I'll mention a few things, and hopefully they will be very helpful. Okay, so for example, let me show you a very This was done like a big, huge machine back in like, what is it, 95, 94. And this was basically the first kind of initiating effects where we're using basic particles there, and I was like just, you know, getting a person in the green screen. I would tell them, okay, there's a big monster in front of you. And we're just doing these for like commercials, we're just doing these for spots, but it was really very experimental and using all these big machines to kind of get into how can you mix 3D and CG and video. So the guy right here is video. I asked him to imagine that there's someone about to attack him. We choreographed the whole thing together, and so yeah, we did a bunch of different alpha channels. So he's like, you know, kicking in, they go back and forth, and it's really kind of like, this is like way before Avatar and all that stuff. So we put a hole in his stomach, you know, using green screen, and I didn't want to put blood and stuff like that, trying to stay away from that. But you can see, like, you know, and that was done again on these big silicon graphic machines and all that. Now, regular PCs, and again, we were talking about mobile phones and iPhones. You know, your actual the iTouch now is actually records HD. You know, I don't know if it's 1080, but I know it's HD. So your actual iPhone can actually go out there and record. And I wanted to talk more a little bit about that. This was really good. This is called Life in a Day, and this they've been asking people to actually post things from all around the world, different shots that people get to send in, their films. And it's just got accepted into Sundance. And all these shots are done from all around the world and got into one. And they've been getting like 80,000 entries, and they actually edited 450,000 shots together to kind of give a whole cohesive kind of look at things. And I thought it was very interesting. So I wanted to show you just a little clip here really quick.
I think that the things most striking to me watching all the clips of them is how similar we all are around the world. You're looking at raw personal footage that people are letting you in on that you wouldn't normally get in a documentary. These clips are about birth, they're about it's kind of most of the clips are kind of fall into that category. After a day when one had seen like 200 clips, you know, 5 or 6 hours of material, you'd feel slightly like a psychotherapist might feel at the end of a day when people have been sort of, you know, disgorging endless, strong feelings and personal information, and you're left exhausted.
To hear ordinary people express those very basic emotions and ideas is really powerful and very direct, and I think that's what's so beautiful about the film overall, is that it has this honesty about it, this directness about it.
The thing that moves steadily through the film is the sense of time, and that felt like the obvious kind of thing to go for, I suppose, but it also works, and you have a sense of the day breaking and people getting up all together.
You'll go from a teenager in his bedroom in New York, you know, telling you what he loves the most in the world, to this amazing Maasai woman with her necklace standing outside her heart, telling you what she loves the most. And just that clash is so wonderful.
There's these ways of sort of building a sequence as if one thing is happening, but through many different clips. A guy in India takes a newspaper out of his newspaper basket. He walks, a paper boy walks up the steps in Canada. He drops it through a letterbox in Italy, and a guy in Spain picks it up, and the person in Peru opens it and reads it. You could follow it as if it was one story, but it's actually made up of Frankenstein parts.
It's a film which is trying to explore in a serious way what it's like to be alive today, what it was like to be alive on the 24th of July, with all the kind of pain and violence and horror, but also love and happiness and hope and expectation that was present on that day, that is present in every day.
So this is an amazing project where they ask people to actually post in, and this is happening all around the world, this independent media. This is the time where I think that the huge market is for us. Of course, how to make money out of it, or how that a lot of us here are actually, I heard some of the people are mortgaging their homes and trying to get their film out. we might not have to go that far. The venue is out there. People, if you have a story to tell, there will be an audience to see it. Hopefully in the coming future, these venues will be there. You can see like one of the persons who submitted their film, I thought it was really high quality and highly done. Oh, this is the little clips from all around the world. And you follow them as if they're one story. It's just really amazing. Get to hear about everybody and go into it. It's really, really nice. I love this one, this shot right here. I think I missed it. Where is it? Okay. Oh, this is the one. Beautifully shot. Again, amateur, just regular people with a camera, high quality.
I think that the things that most striking to me,
I think we just saw that. Actually, it's right there, so I'll just click on it. Hopefully it doesn't take long to load. And yeah, it's watch this. About an event somewhere in the world, you know, from a perspective of the child, from the perspective of the family, right away into there. So we get to see that how, you know, the venue is open now, the world is open, and there's a lot of art and a lot of things going around. I am fortunate enough to work with a lot of students. I mean, I get tons of students, very talented, and a lot of them are very eager to work and just can't find the right people. And I get a lot of filmmakers who are looking for people and projects to work on. I'm like, you know, I'm always doing the matchmaking thing between film and artists, and filmmakers and artists. So there's a huge venue there that you can get very, very high quality stuff by using amazing low quality or low priced things. Here's a wonderful guy that is just amazing how he uses all the cliches of Hollywood that you can see, and he does it very, very simply and very amazingly. I'd like to show some of that.